WATB tomorrow at WATB tomorrow at 2 p.m. Everybody, make sure you watch WATB with my pal Christian Bladt. He's paid me for that. I really don't like him very much. But hey, money's money, right?
Money is money.
I mean, I think me reading a plug for Christian Bladt is more degrading than Stuttering John reading super chats about his cunt mother. More degrading, Christian Bladt. And I did that for you for the money. You can clip that, you can turn it sideways, and you can shove it up your candy ass.
This is Chicago-style pizza.
Yeah.
Would you like to give it a try?
It's kind of funny looking. I mean, I'm not sure what to make of this. Like, Why is it so high? Like, I don't get it. I know it takes like an hour to make. Like, we get hungry. We're not waiting an hour. We want our pizza done in a New York minute. So I may just pass on this.
You're going to pass?
And I'll just wait till I get back home for some good old New York made-in-a-minute pizza.
I can't convince you to try a bite?
No, I'm not sure I'm going to do.
Kamala Harris, the first president of the United States. Yes, she...
You're listening. Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATB with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your
showtime. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise. And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters, the only show on the internet hosted by two blubbering bitch boys. I'm bitch boy number 2. And look, right here with me as always, number 1 bitch boy, Easy. How are you? How's your week going?
It's going well where I'm at right now. It's very, very hot and humid. It's 103 degree heat index, so we're enjoying that. But otherwise, let's just stay inside and podcast and have some fun.
Well, Michigan, that's a dry heat, isn't it?
No. It's jungle. It's
no.
jungle urban heat.
Well, don't tell some of the people in our chat that it's like a jungle here. And as we speak about the chat, important order of business. Let everybody know how super chats work on this show right here, Eric.
Yeah, you have a couple of options. If you're spending time and you're enjoying things and you think it's worth a couple of bucks here and there, please, we would love that so much. You'd make our day to do that. Also, if you want a Christian to do some dirty work, like actually say some horrible things to sign off this show, go ahead and leave it in the chat there with a dollar amount. We're hoping $10. We're urging you $10 if you want Christian to say something that could be construed as horribly racist or misogynistic or even worse in the chat. And then, have at it. If you actually are funny, and there are a handful of you that are funny.
Correct.
Not a doubt. Let's see. JFK Head Chunk is very, very funny.
Always. Dust Cloud is a huge friend.
Dwired.
Yep.
How do you say it? Dwired Christian is very, very funny.
Dwired Christian, yeah.
These are all funny people who write great cracks, and they get posted on there. No dollar amount needed because you furthered the conversation by being funny.
Exactly. And let's give a quick reminder to get your tickets to the Magic Bag in Ferndale, Michigan, October 25th. Eric Zane will be there. And since our last show, Carl's let me know that they apparently will not be streaming that show live, which is weird, Easy, because you told me that you were going to have a guy in the back of the room with a cell phone and that I just had to give you $100 and then I'd be able to watch the whole thing. So is that not happening anymore?
I guess not. I mean, I was under the impression that was going to happen.
Well, all right. Well, you know what? I guess I'll just have to wait and be patient. Anyway, go ahead.
By the way, I just want to get out in front of this. No, I haven't fixed the fucking door yet. So settle the fuck down. You can see the part there. That's what I'm going to put on there. That eventually is. And by the way, that's a printer on the ground. Here's another microphone for some reason. It's a shit show over here.
Yeah, that's why you used to have the camera turned the other direction. But I like it. I'm glad
now I don't even care anymore. I'm just like, whatever.
I didn't even realize we had that door until literally last week. And and you know what? It's the most photogenic part of the show. Oh my goodness. Already. Hold the phone. T with $5. Why, oh, why would you nice gents compete against the good liars? LOL, change your type. Those guys are very funny. We've had clips of them before.
I love the good liars. You know what? Whenever I see them, I get a little anxious for them because I'm afraid that the dumb fucks that they're talking to, one of them's going to get it and punch him in the fucking face.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable, but that's part of the reason why they're worth checking out. It's okay. You can check us out now, check them out later, whatever you want to do. But whatever you do, leave a super tip. No, sorry, we don't have those yet. Leave a super chat on the way out. If you don't watch, just give us some money and leave. It's fine. You can write whatever you want. And of course, we do accept all the ways that you could give money. Venmo, Streamlabs, super chats, memberships, gifted memberships, and Rumble rants. What? Oh my gosh. I was literally just saying Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Kohl's Cash, Chuck E. Cheese tokens. I know I'm borrowing that from Bedabbler. I know that's his bit. Now you know where to send it, kiddos. Oh, wait. I mean, we've already made more money than we did the last 2 weeks combined. Should we just quit the show now?
Look at this. You got Reverend Shitstain Powerful Pooper throws $2. Easy bitching at his wife on the air was a good bit. I think I know what you're referring to. We got in a fight this week.
Oh, good.
I appreciate that. And then T throws $5 more at us with a very nice response, gents. Much respect.
I'm really impressed by so many super chats early in the show, but we should huddle together after the show. Carl told us the fake chats weren't going to start till next week.
Okay, good. All right. So, yeah, we gave him that fucking money, and then he just it's kind of like, hey, that'll prime the pump, and then everyone will want to get in on it, you know?
Oh, well, thank you, everybody. And we will always stop down in the middle of what we're doing if it means that somebody gave us money. And our high US dollar amount super chat will be my sign off. So make sure that we get that in there. So before we dive in, I do want to give a heads up. We've got a lot of political clips this week, and I do mean a lot. In fact, it's mostly political clips. So before you start worrying about our libcuck agenda and how we're all going to try and change your kids, I do want to remind everybody, I really don't care who wins. They're both terrible. It's going to be great for our show either way. I think short term, it's probably funnier if Trump wins, if Trump loses. But if he wins, this show is great for 4 more years. So
I want Biden to come back and him to win.
That would be amazing. That would be like a Royal Rumble where all of a sudden he's at the top rope and he just tackles them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we all want. So because there are going to be so many political clips, I'm deputizing you, Eric Zane. When you feel like, hey, it's getting to be a little too much, let's tap out for a moment. I've got bears. I've got a few other tricks up my sleeve. I do have a women's soccer team get into a brawl, but they're from Massachusetts and New Jersey, so don't get too excited. But it's nice to watch broads fight.
Right. I mean, Massachusetts, New Jersey women. It was no big deal. These are women who take shits on each other just for fun. So,
well, now all of a sudden you've awakened a new corner of our audience. In any case, let's get right to it with our politics jingle. Would I be mistaken if I thought that you hated that one, Eric?
No, they're all stupid. They're all the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Doug from the Jingles department, I'm a huge fan. And you know what? I was gonna surprise you the first time we needed it. I don't have any clips that fit this, but I did ask Doug for this for the day that we need one.
WATB, who are these Eric Zanes? Who are these Eric Zanes? WATB, who are these Eric Zanes? Who are these Eric Zanes?
Okay.
You like that one, right?
Now I like them.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm all about it. I like those.
Right. So that's a good one. All right. Well, in any case, let's get that super chat off the screen. There we go.
Shit. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. All right. Now we're both trying to do it. All right. So listen, we're gonna build slow, all right? Because I think our first political clip, this is from actually it's MSNBC's coverage of the DNC. You might not get it right away, but don't worry. So we're gonna show the clip and then we'll kind of zoom in and we'll tell our audio audience why this one's so amazing.
One of the more, if you look at the scale of senators, probably one of the more unpopular senators. But Texas is still a red state. But here's what I would say. I do think that Colin.
So he's holding up his phone. And Eric, it's a little difficult to read what that gentleman's phone says, isn't it?
Yeah. You got a guy who looks like adolescent short round behind that talking head holding his phone up. I could picture it's a JD Vance, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We've zoomed in and it says JD Vance fucks couches and right there on MSNBC. And look, if ever there was an image that summed up this show, it's that guy right there. He looks like Dahmer. I believe you mean Jeffrey Dahmer's victim. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, we say it often on this show. There's a constant reminder out there that not all heroes wear capes, and this guy's a hero that he got.
Oh, that was wonderful. I love him. I love what he did. That's funny shit, man. It's there. I think there was more room for comedy in the DNC than there was in the RNC. You know, I mean, with the RNC, there was a lot of like, what? Huh? With the DNC, I think there was actually some genuinely funny shit going on.
Well, I'm so glad you framed it that way because I've got a clip that when I saw it happening, I was like, how is this possibly going on stage? And believe it or not, I'm not making fun of the person in the clip. I'm making fun of whoever programmed the DNC and thought, yeah, this should be on TV.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign.
All right.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's not what he said.
Is she translating?
I believe so. Yeah. So that's Sandra Abrevia, and that gentleman is Brian Wallach, who has ALS, and I think it's an important cause to raise money for. But you bring him out on stage. I think I don't know. In the chat, they probably loved it.
The Wired says she speaks brain dead. This one, oh my sweet bleeding Jesus. Spot on Biden impression by JFK Head Chunk. God damn it.
JFK Head Chunk always delivers, and that was it right there.
That makes more sense than anything else I saw at the DNC. Ray DeVito has ALS. God damn. Oh, yeah. That is special. That was terrible. God, well, I mean, how? And she's sitting there and she has like a sweet look on her face. How does she not like wince the whole time?
Well, these are all important questions for the chat to answer. I'm glad that the word brain dead came up because this is a largely visual one. This is when Biden was speaking, and it's a shot from the crowd of crazy Nancy Pelosi, and she's never looked less happy to be chanting something. She's chanting, "Let's go, Joe," and I'll let EZ try to describe the look on her face. We love Joe. Yeah. Let's watch it again.
Oh, she's struggling with that. She is, and she's seated. She looks horrible. She looks half dead, and she doesn't want to be there, and she doesn't really love Joe.
She's trying to choke it down. She's like, I pretty much made sure that that Joe wasn't who this whole week was about. By the way, you're welcome, nerds. That's really what she should say. But
and none of those people really love Joe.
No,
they're as bummed out about him being there as anybody else is.
Yeah, well, they put him on the first night for a reason, you know. I mean, come
exactly. On. You're right. That I think that was telling. Put him on the first night because it's supposed to be bigger and bigger as the days get closer and closer to the day that Harris speaks. They put him in early.
Yeah,
that's not even the band that opens up for Cheap Trick. That's the local shitbox act that just won like Battle of the Bands with the local radio station.
Yeah.
That's who Joe Biden is in this goddamn thing.
Joe Biden came on because he placed fourth in a Battle of the Bands, but the first three all declined the opportunity.
Exactly. Oh,
so even Bill Clinton got to speak on the second night, and he spoke to something that I think is important to all of us. He referred to the fact that when she was younger, Kamala Harris worked at McDonald's.
So happy when she actually enters the White House as president, because she will break my record as the president who spent the most time at McDonald's.
Oh. So I guess it was also kind of old timers day, you know, when the uniform doesn't fit so well, guy doesn't have his fastball. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't even want to think about politics. That man starts talking, I'm ready for him to put a cigar in my vagina as soon as he starts talking.
It reminds me of, remember when you were a kid, you watched that one thing at Christmas time with the heat miser and the freeze miser? She's the freeze miser. So, 1% of you get that joke, but that's what he reminds me of. God damn, I'm sorry. I can't believe I did that.
Oh no, I think that's I don't even know. I think that's A Year Without a Santa Claus, but everybody, I think most people, there's 76 people in the chat who know what that is. All right. So there also were a lot of moments where delegates got to speak as a representative of their state. I'm not going to be showing the Little John clip because, well, people were entertained by it. And also there's a copywritten music in it. But instead of Lil Jon, I got this broad.
Only be heard if we vote. As the saying goes, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Hey, Eric, how many times do you think that this chick sat down at a table and there was not a menu in front of her?
Yeah, of all the things for this giant-faced horse to mention, she's talking about it being on the menu. God damn it. Is she wearing drapes like from the hotel? What does she have on?
Well, I do believe that's a slimming ladies tarp. I believe is where you can find that.
Oh God, she makes transgendered women look hot.
I'm recording a new drop from you right there, so thank you. I much appreciated. Look, a lot of these speeches did what they set out to do, and I don't have a ton of clips of where somebody had a good one-liner and it was received well. That's not what we do here. This is who are these broadcasters, and there were some people in the crowd who were done dirty by the broadcasting team. So getting shown while Oprah's speaking might be exciting unless it was in this context.
Childless cat lady.
And there's a lady, and she's like, wait, you couldn't possibly be talking about me. There's got to be a childless cat lady right behind me, right? There's no way that it's me, right,
Wait,
Oprah?
do it again, because when she got home, all her friends said, you won't believe it.
Childless cat lady?
They cut to you when they said childless cat lady. Oh,
no, it's got to be somebody else. There's no way that it's me.
Oh, no. Wait, she's like, it can't be me. She didn't say fat fuck childless cat lady. So I'm good, right?
I think that the only way that this works for her is if she leans into it and it becomes her profile on Bumble. There's an even more unfortunate crowd shot while Kamala Harris was accepting the nomination.
Restore reproductive freedom. As President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law.
All right, like an easy applause line. That broad's happy. All right. Oh no! You showed a dude with a baby.
That was a dead baby too, by the way.
Well,
that baby was actually dead.
I think that's the point. Is Kamala's like, look, under me, this guy would just have a heavy backpack, and it would be much better for his spine. It'd be better for lumbar support.
Oh, shit. Oh my God. Dina Marie writes, failed abortion here.
Well, congratulations, Dina Marie. You know, sometimes it's better to not be the big winner.
Dwyer says, spike the child. He tries to breastfeed it, says Dr. Scotty Jones. Douche of the Dabbleverse. God, the emasculation is unbearable. Bring your abortion and get in free, says JFK Headshot.
Yeah, well, you know, I think I do believe it was. Well, there was the Planned Parenthood van. It'll come up in a clip we have later.
Okay, good.
They were offering abortions, but the pill kind. They weren't actually performing them. But I do believe you could sign up for a vasectomy. And easy, you don't need to sign up for a vasectomy because that would imply that your dick works.
No, my dick is useless anyway. I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to be like Theon Greyjoy.
You're just filled with references for the kids today, aren't you? So, all right. So the DNC is essentially over. Kamala Harris speaks. And who would you rather have speaking on Fox News rather than former President Trump? Seems like a good get.
Appeal and momentum for women voters. She's trying to pull the youth vote, the Hispanic vote, the black vote back in her direction. Polls show that she's having some success in that at this point. So what are you going to do? What's your strategy to rebuild the momentum that you had with those voters?
No, she's not having success. I'm having success. I'm doing great with the Hispanic voters. I'm doing great with black men. I'm doing great with women because women want safety. They want safety. And they don't have safety when they have somebody allowing 20 million people into our country.
He's doing well with black men, you know.
I love how when he says black, he goes black. It's 2 syllables for him.
It might even be 3 syllables.
I am doing very well with our local blacks.
Many of them very dangerous people. No, it's only in your eyes that they have that, Martha. We're doing very well in the polls. We're leading in most of the polls. And in the swing states,
Brett Baer's had his mouth open for like 15 seconds.
In Michigan, the auto workers are voting for me because you're not going to have an auto industry if she gets elected.
You're not going to have an auto industry.
They're
I
not
love
gonna have
when
an
he
auto.
does that.
Yeah,
He
there's
just
not even
says
going to be an auto industry. No one's going to have cars.
Oh,
We're all going to
no.
be on horseback.
I love that. That's my favorite part about him.
Yeah. Well,
you know, he can just say anything. He can, no matter where he is, just say it, and it's cool. That's my favorite part about him.
Well, maybe Brett Baer and Martha McCallum were looking for somebody that maybe was going to come on and have a conversation with them. But look, when you have somebody as media savvy and technologically knowledgeable as Donald Trump, I'm sure he's not going to embarrass himself or the network.
Give a tax increase of 4 to 5 times what people and companies are paying right now. The country.
So stopped it right when he said cunt.
Yeah, well, like you said, he could say anything that he wants, you know. So I don't think I had really seen much of this in the last 9 years. They'd had enough, and they have to figure out, all right, how do we have Sandman come and sweep this drunk off the stage? To Wired Christian, his ear wound is dialing. So let's see how successful Brett Baer can be at trying to say, well, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Beaten Joe Biden in a Democrat primary. I have no doubt about it. And they made it absolutely impossible for him. They made it that you have to get 60-70% of the vote just to get in. And you know what? In the end, the Democrats did the same thing to Joe Biden. They threw Joe Biden out of the party.
And that's
they
why
did
we
the
saw a
same
different
thing
night
as they
tonight.
did to RFK.
Mr. President, thank you so much for the time. We
Okay,
appreciate that live feedback.
Stay right there, live
Just
edition
totally
of
cut him off.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Just
from
fucking
Chicago.
cut him off.
Yeah. They're just like, no. But, you know, a lot of times people will compare politics to high school. So if you're in high school and the girl you like hangs up on you, what do? Well, you call her fatter, dumpier friend who, to be honest, is so much stupider than she is. So here's what he does almost immediately thereafter.
Well, if they've gone into Caracas,
Yep.
which was
He
a
called
very
Newsmax.
unsafe city,
Oh,
and
no.
now it's safe. In fact, someday the three of us will have to go there. No, let's bring your husband with us also, right?
So the reason I pulled that part of the clip is that he's talking about how great Venezuela is, and we should all go to Caracas. Let's the three of us go. You could bring your husband too. He's going to sit in a chair in the corner, but we'll have the real party, won't we?
I give him credit. This is fucking great. While she's speaking, he's saying "fuck you" on any place that'll have him.
Yeah, but this is after the Fox one though. So they're playing it.
Oh, I
next to him,
know.
but yeah, they're still, cheering and hooting and hollering.
and we'll bring some of the other people that are with you, because I like the people that are with you, and we'll go to Caracas because it'll be safer than any place in our country. She's destroying our country.
Do you want to take a vacation with these two here?
Yeah, look at, I mean, and you can tell he's got the posture of I give up, and then whoever that chick is, she's like, well, I'm just laughing, I'm just having a good time here because he's saying whatever the fuck he wants to say.
You mean Husky Katie Couric? Is that who you're talking about? So there was definitely some reaction the morning after that. Oh man, that was not a good look. He got kicked off Fox, and then he immediately goes and calls his BFFs over at Newsmax. But this is what President Trump had to say. Is it large enough that you can read that, or should I read it?
I can see it.
You go ahead and read what this is from Truth Social. So he didn't post this. He truthed this.
Exactly. That's what it is. Brett Baer of Fox News called me. I didn't call him, just prior to the Kamala convention speech, and asked me if I would like to critique her after she is finished. I agreed to do so. I thought it was nonspecific and weak, with no fracking, crime, inflation, or anything else of interest even mentioned. Delivery was a C+, with far too many and speedy thank yous at the beginning. It was weird. Likewise, I don't call other media outlets that asked me to go on. They called me. The fake news, like often gifted Maureen Dowd of the failing New York Times, wrote incorrectly that I was making the calls. Wrong! I don't have to make calls to go on TV or anything else. They call me. It's called ratings, I guess. And I'm the ratings machine.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. And I don't think he dialed the phone, but there was definitely somebody who's like, all right, well, we still got this time. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to ask you a question that, we haven't actually asked this in a while.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters.
We examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
So I don't believe that he picked up the phone and he dialed it, except for when he dialed it with his cheek. But I do believe that he didn't expect Fox to hang up on him. So his person immediately called Newsmax, and then they probably called What America's Voice. And, who knows what they did after that. But do you think it was all orchestrated and that they weren't trying to fill his time to make it not look so embarrassing?
I mean, come on now. If you can get the former president of the United States on while the other one's talking, I mean, what?
Okay.
Everyone else there, no one there is capable of actually doing anything that's memorable in the first place. At the end of the day, if Trump's on, people will remember it.
But what if, and follow me on this, what if he won't shut up? And and you're like, okay, the first 5 minutes were great, but now we've had 8 more minutes. And
it's worth it. You still got to figure that. You can figure that shit out when the time is right. If you're a broadcaster who's worth anything, you just say, hey, can you shut up?
Yeah.
Then he'd appreciate that. It's like, goddamn, would you please relax for a second? I'm trying to get a word in. He'd love that shit.
Look, I think that the truth lies right in the middle. I do think he felt a little embarrassed by it, about the way that he looked. Whether it's true or not, it's all about what it looked like. But of course, I've seen former President Trump on a number of shows. Carl and my buddy Jody B were looking over the weekend at, he was on with Theo Vaughn. That
was good, by the way. That was really good.
Yeah, the former president is always welcome on Who Are These Broadcasters. Anytime, and we won't cut you off. We'll just let you keep going.
Well, I enjoy Trump when he's on places like Theo Vaughn. I mean, that's a norm. Trump realizes, I don't know why, but he's much more disarmed and speaks less like a robot.
Yeah.
I was really appreciative of that dialogue between those two, even though some of it was silly, but who gives a fuck? Anybody is going to be convinced of anything at this point in time.
No, they made sure to feature it on WATP over the weekend. My favorite moment is Trump talking about how great the economy was, and Theo Vaughn goes, "Yeah, I know. My cousin got a boat." It's a nice flex. So yeah, and you're saying that Trump talking to Theo Vaughn is more watchable than Howard Stern talking to Joe Biden? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That was sickening. I mean, that was so gross. Any Joe Biden communicate or attempting to communicate at any point is ridiculous. But that whole moment with Stern, oh my God, all those years of building a legacy, it's out the window lately with Stern. It's embarrassing. God damn, it's so bad.
One day scholars will examine whose legacy was hurt more by the year 2024, Joe Biden or Howard Stern. I don't have the answers.
I do. It's Stern. Biden was a slow. I mean, we could see it all kind of happening.
That's a great point.
And everybody knew it. But Howard, what a. There's absolutely nothing redeeming or entertaining about anything that he does now. And anyone who enjoys it, shame on you.
Yeah, I haven't watched or listened to Howard without planning to pull clips from this show or WATP in a few years. But I will listen when I'm like, oh, there's going to be some clips here. But in any case, you talked about unwatchable, unentertaining. And when you say that, it's like a bat signal for Ted Cruz, who came packed with a joke. So there was a lot of speculation about who the Democrats might have on the last night as a special guest. Some people thought maybe it'll be Taylor Swift or Beyonce. Some people even thought it'd be George W. Bush. Which is the ghost of his father would never let him do that, even if he hates Trump. But anyway, although Jeb probably said, "Do you want me to speak?" And they were like, "No, Jeb, we don't. It's okay. We don't want you." But so that's what they were thinking. But don't worry, known funny man Ted Cruz couldn't resist an opportunity for a laugh.
Jesse, I want to break a little bit of news. I heard your earlier reporting on the show about the secret guest. I'll tell you, there was a leak from the Biden White House, so I know who the secret guest is going to be tonight. It's a big secret, but it's going to be El Chapo.
I ended that clip there for a reason, so that we can hold for laughter and for applause. And look, Jesse Waters, think what you will about him. He wants to be supportive for Ted Cruz, but his face says it all. Like, oh man, you could have said any name and I probably would have given you a courtesy laugh. El Chapo.
Ever since that beard turned white where it is on Ted Cruz, I couldn't take him seriously for years prior to. He looks like he's in clown makeup half the goddamn time.
I wonder if I'm going to regret this, but what does our chat think might be the white in Ted Cruz's beard? Let us know if you have any thoughts.
Yeah,
we'll welcome your contributions, your suggestions throughout the entire show. So that night, it was a big story, and TMZ basically said, we heard that Beyonce is going to be there. Now, there's a lot of reasons why somebody might report the wrong thing, but I think that they were led to believe that Beyonce was going to be there. I don't think that Harvey Levin was like, oh, more people will tune into the DNC if we say Beyonce is going to be there. So during that part of the evening, wondering who the special guest is and would they put them on before Kamala, because knowing that if Beyonce performed before Kamala, there might have been a couple of empty seats. So there's all this trying to figure out who it might be, who's going to be there. And our buddy Peter Ducey wanted to play off that. And I love Peter Ducey. We play a lot of clips. Usually when we play a clip of him, he's the winner. He's victorious. This one, he found a group of people that just weren't there to play along.
Yeah. Beyonce's coming? Serious convention. This is about issues. This is about issues. This is about America.
Are you going to go backstage and tell them to tell the celebrities not to come out, or should I?
That's you. You should tell them that.
I'll go back. So you guys don't want Beyonce to come out?
Come on. No, don't do this.
No. Okay. Apologies. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll keep it going.
My favorite thing that guy says is, "Come on, don't do this."
It's so embarrassing. God damn it. Fuck.
He looks like Kareem Paul Pierre usually looks in clips we play of him. He's got her face right now.
Wow, man, that was rough.
But do you think that Beyonce is coming out? We don't care. Just who are you again? Your dad's the famous one, right?
Dr. Scotty Jones says, ouch.
Yeah, I know.
Let's be fair, Beyonce never came out.
Oh, that's true. She never did. It's absolutely true. Yeah, I wasn't pretending she did.
Either Dust Cloud's talking about him or me. Not a clue on how to riff.
A little column A, little column B. That seems like one of those. So there were a lot of people hanging around the DNC for the express purpose of trying to get some content out of it. And I think that there is a good chunk of our audience who knows who Jack Posobiec is. A lot of your friends that you don't talk to from high school anymore probably retweet him. Maybe your uncle has forwarded you, hey, video to think about from Jack Posobiec. He's a top tier conservative troll. But when it comes to hosting, well, let's just say I don't think he's a guy that I would give a live mic to the way that Real America's Voice did. Also, because it's Real America's Voice, his mic is really hot in this clip, but we have to kind of leave it up a little bit so we can hear the answers he gets. So he just heads towards a couple of progressive activists, and he's just trying to ask them some questions about abortion, the funniest thing that you can ask people about.
Distress and anguish.
Why are we leading to the abortion ban?
Because you're with the guys who are with the vasectomies. You're on the vasectomy side of it.
I'm not fucking anybody currently. So, I don't understand. Do you understand?
They will cut this if there's language. I do.
You're a fuck, Jack.
All right.
You.
That's one of the things that we have. I can, but we can't have the language. Can't have the language. I was standing here.
So I've got two questions. First, what do you think these two smell like?
You mean the girls or those two?
The two girls. Yeah.
Probably an abortion, like they just had one, and that's okay. That can be sexy.
I'm sorry, Eric. We were looking for patchouli and dried blood, so we'll give you half credit. All right.
Okay.
How does that work?
All right. Okay, fine.
We'll give you 20 points there.
But
go ahead.
I love her. When she says, well, I'm not currently fucking anyone. And he should have said, well, I knew that.
Yeah. Come on. It's like you have to have sex to get pregnant and need an abortion. He's like, there's a way to follow this here. And these two had a fun interaction, but that's the best part when it's like, they will cut us. He's like, fine, walk away, asshole. let's I'll go ahead. The Duke of the Delusional.
Yeah, apparently he didn't like the fact that I made fun of Ted Cruz.
Oh,
I don't know. It's a joke.
Don't be biased at his age.
All right.
Wait,
don't be surprised.
Way to come here and have fun, but thanks for the $1.99.
I stand corrected, citizen. Thank you. Thou shalt not make fun of old fucks.
That's Eric Zane, Adam West, Batman. My apologies, citizens. We'll try to do better next time. I can't remember if there's anything else worth watching in this clip, so I'm going to play the last few seconds of it.
That my language is making sure you can't stream, but you're here.
All right, they're telling me they're gonna cut it. Busted for harassing children.
Oh yeah, I did leave it through there because he's like, yeah, we're live for harassing children. Good work, Jack. Jack, just stick to the Twitter. I mean, that's what people love you for,
I'm
going to go ahead and let you read that one from Dust Cloud.
Says, abortions are like porch pirates, which I think might mean something else on this show. I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Should have one.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means, but I am a huge fan of Dust Cloud, who follows me on social media now, and he's shared some good stuff. So,
good. Hey, did you see JJ? I followed JJ now, and you followed me, and are we going to talk about Noah? What's his name? A little later on. That
I'm not sure.
Black kid.
Oh, I'm so glad that that you read the show rundown, because we've got it right here.
Good.
Yeah.
Because JJ's all butthurt because that kid's brilliant. JJ's, JJ, who we had on here.
Yeah.
He's all pissed off because he says that the Democrats are using that kid as a pawn. And it's like, yeah, so what?
Yeah.
So I can't wait to have fun with this Noah.
Look,
kid.
if that person wasn't a kid, I don't think we'd even have seen the clip.
Right? He's not really a kid. Do you remember Gary Coleman?
Yes,
that's what this kid is. This kid's like 38.
And
okay,
yeah, there was that moment in time, because if you remember Webster, Emmanuel Lewis, it was the same time where there were African American gentlemen who were in their 30s, but they looked like 9.
Yes. It's a syndrome called little black man disease. This is the third person to have it. This Noah DeMarcus, whatever the fuck his name is. He's just like, he's a combination of Webster and Gary Coleman, but he's like 56 years old.
Well, we're really lighting up the pop culture this week. All the stuff from 40 years ago. So the fact of the matter is, you had a few people who were at the DNC. We showed Jack Posobiec there. Matt Walsh was there with like a man bum, and I have no clips or stills because he didn't do anything funny with it. Good for you. He was hiding and everybody knew who he was, but I didn't see anything that he did with it. But when I have the opportunity to share My Pillow CEO, Mike Lindell, I will always share him. And he did a whole thing. He did a video where I've shaved off my mustache. He's like, yeah, we know. We see it's not there. You still sound like Jesse Ventura after a bender. So we know it's you. Jesse didn't like crack as much as Mike Lindell did. But so this is part of sort of a media scrum, they call it, where just a lot of people are talking to each other. You'll see there's sort of 2 clips that we're going to show that are related to this. There's another one that we don't really need. There's like 8 different angles for the clip that we're about to see. But yes, so this is the 12-year-old who might be 38, just trying to, I believe as the kids would say, drop some knowledge on Mike Lindell.
257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election.
So
this just came out. You're behind. You should.
So your source is Trust Me, bro? That's your source?
The source. It's in your papers in Georgia. You need to read your
news. You haven't given me any last name.
So there's 2 things in there. One, this kid is very proud of. So your source is Trust Me, bro. Very funny, by the way. But we might hear it again in the next clip. But Mike Lindell's like, you have to check your papers. He's like, I don't even know what you mean. What papers? What's paper? I use an iPad in school. I don't even know what paper is. What are you talking about, old man?
Gotta go get the latest edition of the newspaper.
Oh, should I? You mean you don't subscribe to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution? I don't know what any of those words are.
Yeah, and look at this ridiculous getup, this fuckhead wearing this guy. Oh fuck. He's so fucked up that even like Kid Rock and Trump hate him.
Yeah.
They hate this guy because they know he's a fucking clown.
Yeah, and he's changed his story a little bit. There are a bunch of videos that I didn't pull where people are trying to get him to say that the 2020 election was rigged, but because of lawsuits pending, he's like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the next one has to be fair. So he his whole thing was that he was the guy that was saying like, there's fraudulent votes, broken voting machines. But you dangle enough of a lawsuit in front of somebody, John, they're going to stop talking about whatever it was. So let's Inspector Clouseau has better costumes. You're absolutely right, Dwyer Christian.
Your news. No, this is your Georgia news. This is your Georgia.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good day, sir.
Okay, that was weird. They just whisked the kid off. Yeah, we got to go to the next interview. And Lindell's like clueless. He has no idea. I think he's lost some weight though. I think he's doing crack again. So he looks pretty good actually.
That's going to make him way more interesting. You know, if he heads back to the Rock. So there's a little bit of a post game here. So I believe that this guy in the ill-fitting suit is with Midas Touch, which is not a place where you should really get reliable information. But he does talk to the kid after.
Provided no facts, no sources. He refused to give me the last name. He said for privacy, but elected officials provide their last names if they want the votes. So I'm confused as to why his source was trust me, bro.
Mike Lindell just got rolled by a 12-year-old.
You know, yes, that's true. But I think it's also true that if it weren't for today's social media presence, this kid would get no pussy and would get his ass kicked if he was actually in a real school.
Yeah, I do believe he's 12, so I would hope that he's not getting pussy at any point. Not yet. He should be like me and wait till he's 23. I think that that's really the appropriate time.
Dwyer believes that this kid is actually 12. I just told you he's not. He's got that Gary Coleman disease. He's an old man, you fucking dumbass.
Well, I would like either JJ or Reverend Shitstain. Let's find some more videos of this kid being old, being in his 30s. So that is actually not the most embarrassing Mike Lindell clip that I have for our show today. This one is the last clip of Mike Lindell for this week, but he it's one thing to have a good one-liner. The kid said, your sources trust me, bro. But in this one, Mike Lindell, well, he only has the one-liner thanks to an assist from the studio, which we can see.
How does it feel to support a convicted felon?
Hey, no, look at this, guys. See how they attack here? Look at they're attacking me on the war room.
A proven sexual abuser. A proven sexual abuser. Convicted felon.
Harry Sisson, have you gotten your vasectomy yet? I think that's what the audience wants to know.
Have you got your vasectomy yet? Did you get your vasectomy? Were you aborted? Did your mom? I prayed for you that your mom did not abort you.
I hope that you don't.
Okay.
What the fuck is happening?
So that's how John Melendez made a name for himself. Was somebody handed him, ask this question: Did the catcher ever fart in your face? And so the joke that he gets is, "Hey Harry, have you had your vasectomy yet?" And then he riffs on it. I hope everybody heard. He said, "Oh, did your mom abort you?" Well, no, because he's standing right here. So that's like that again. It all comes back to high school. That's like your friend talking about like, oh yeah, I fingered a girl. Oh my God. It feels just like sandpaper and it's so cold. You have no idea what you're talking about, Mike Lindell.
It's hard to believe that there was a time when this guy was so well respected. I mean, there was a time before all this shit happened where everyone's like, man, I gotta get myself a My Pillow. That son of a bitch turned his life around. He's fucking great. People were like seeking him out to put him on their radio shows and shit like that. And now he's what a fucking quack.
And I don't know. I'm sure the pillows are very comfortable, but I don't know if they're priced to move. Let's just say. We've got one more moment from the DNC, but this is outside the DNC. The DNC. Sorry. So there was a lot of attention. Oh, our Bud Dwyer had a better career.
I think I know that reference. Is that the
You
guy
do.
who shot himself?
That's the guy who shot himself. Yeah. That's our Bud Dwyer. Yeah. It was at least more dignified Dwyer Christian. So when Tim Walz was speaking, there was a lot of attention on a crowd shot of his son, Gus, who later we find is on the spectrum, differently abled. I forget exactly. And what I'll say, Eric, is that, boy, I'm glad we don't do this show every night as things are happening, because I didn't have an opinion on this kid. And unfortunately, some people spoke out. Our buddy Trucker Andy on All Apologies, follow him. There's a radio show host who lost his job for calling Gus Walz a blubbering bitch boy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I got to look that one up. I got to find out who that was.
So check that out. I asked Andy to join us today, but get this, Eric. He's working. He's at a job right now.
Wow.
What a loser. Anyway, so, but Ann Coulter stepped in it, and she made a post, and she immediately took it down. she said, talk about weird ... And it was a picture of him.
Oh.
And, we don't need that as much as I did have a couple people send me this TikToker. Her name's Booker Squared. She had some thoughts for Ann Coulter. And I think when, regardless of what you think of her or her stance on things, when somebody brings this kind of fire, it's worth listening to.
The very last day of the Democratic National Convention here in Chicago, Illinois, and I feel like the entire week I've been very demure, very mindful, very cutesy, but ever since I saw Ann Coulter say this about Tim Walz' son who is disabled, I'm going to say fuck that shit. It's all out of the window. Man, fuck you, Ann. Don't nobody give a fuck about a woman who died 10 years ago and is decomposing and still dyes her hair with peroxide in the motherfucking sink. What the fuck do you know about raising children, okay? Childless monkey women for Trump. That's exactly what you are because you look like the Wicked Witch of the motherfucking West. They need to throw water on your ass and make you melt. We are tired of this shit. And as Michelle Obama said earlier this week, we're no longer going high when y'all go low. We're going to drag your bitch ass to hell where your unseasoned succubus ass belongs. Fuck you.
She was a little angry there.
Shit.
And the best thing about Ann Coulter stepping in it is clips from the Comedy Central roast she was at started circling. And I didn't think Ann understood how a roast works when she went.
No, she was horrible. That was incredible. Get the fuck, because she's probably got she's probably dating a guy or married to a guy, and he knew it was coming. Whoever that guy is, like, oh no, this is not going to end well. Oh, that was spectacular. I have no other comments about that. I mean, no. I will say this, and I think you alluded to it too. I'm glad everybody else stepped into it before I even knew that this even happened.
Yeah.
Because I would have been the first guy saying, what the fuck's his problem? That would have been me, man.
I may have been crafting a tweet in my head. And, I never actually even finished the idea of that.
Yeah.
Reverend Shitstain, powerful pooper. Yes, Queen Slay. We hate white people. That's right, girl. Look, when somebody's got something funny to say about Ann Coulter, he can always come on here. But Reverend Shitstain, I love that. I wish you'd put $20 more to it. I'd say it at the end of the show. Cheap dumb fuck. All right, that's enough. DNC. We've done pretty much the entire show. And if you've watched this show over the last couple months, you knew that we were going to have to spend some time on this clip that I'm about to share. And Dustcloud says, that's the uppity pirate. I don't know what the rest of it was that hit me in the head with a shovel. Interesting. I have a video we might not get to today that involves a shovel, but all next week. So you might not be surprised that we're going to spend a few minutes with one of the only clips that my wife has ever sent to me for this show before I had seen it. And Eric, you also sent it along to me. This is a little video called JD Vance Goes to a Donut Shop.
Let's come to town. Thank you for letting us come in here.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, man.
She says, I don't want to be on film.
I don't want to be on film.
Right.
And to be fair, C-SPAN did blur her out. There are versions of this video where you can see her face, though.
Oh. Which tells us this is there was no setup ahead of time, which typically is a good thing to do.
Eric, why did you put that super chat back on the screen? We already read that.
I didn't put that one back up.
I don't know. I don't know why. No, I'm pretty sure you did. I don't know why it's there. All right. So she does not want to be photographed while she's talking to a senator and vice presidential nominee.
Okay, yeah. She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything.
Yep. Cut you right out, honey. No problem.
Okay.
How long are you working?
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Okay, good. How about you, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
And that answer of keep me out of this, but I'm going to give you a quick answer. Please, sir, no follow-ups.
Good. Just everything. Yeah, I mean, a lot of glazed here.
A lot of glazed here.
Stuff.
Yep.
Some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense.
Very dismissive and condescending. He is a disaster. If I was Trump, I would have fired him the second after I saw this. I would have said, "You stupid fuck! What the fuck is wrong with you? Just marching into there. You're supposed to warm these people up, you dumb fuck."
We'll get to it in a minute, but he pretty much did fire this guy. No, he's still there. I'm not saying he's not there, but maybe took some of the teeth away. And there's a little bit left here. Oh wait, yeah, I'm sorry. The way that he ordered when he said, "Just whatever makes sense."
Just whatever makes sense.
That's a way to order. What do you got here? You got the glazed, you got the sprinkles. Whatever makes sense. Yeah, that's. And we've shown pictures of this show, what he looked like on when he was in high school. This guy knows what a donut is. He knows how good they taste. Just get your favorites, fatty. All right.
Oh, so much wrong with this. And there's just the question line about how long they've worked there. Where are you going with that? What the fuck are you doing? Like it even matters.
How long has this place been around?
About 4 years. Okay.
Huh.
How long have you been here?
A little over 6 months.
Okay, good.
Good.
Yeah, good. Great.
Oh, so bad. And this happened just before the weekend, and then the weekend happened. There's memes everywhere.
Yeah.
The internet was just killing this fuck.
Yeah, and you sent this to me in the context of somebody that people may not know, W. Kamau Bell. He is a very left-leaning, but actually pretty funny guy. He's done a few shows for HBO and CNN. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he's like, "I'm trying to be helpful, JD Vance." The first thing he says, "Fire your whole team. They clearly hate you. This is TV production 101, and they failed it." So then they talk about how what you were alluding to, this is what W. Kamau Bell talks about, is your advanced team has to go and actually check it out. And, okay, well, he's going to talk to you. Okay. You don't want to be on camera. Then you slip something to the manager. Can she work in the kitchen today? Who would like to be on camera? Right. There's a lot of ways you do this. And look, it is in no way a legitimate interaction. The whole thing is staged. The whole thing is fake.
Yes.
But
you got a 50. If you do it unannounced like that, you got a 50-50 chance of this being a catastrophe, and that's what he got. Good.
Yeah. And you have people that are being paid very well to create fake events like this one that Tim Walz did over the weekend.
Coulter runs, and then we did a little rally on the side when we had a little extra time. If you don't know, the iconic Nebraska restaurant is.
And remember, he was talking about these fucking runzas in a clip we played last week because he's like, "Oh, I know Nebraska. Don't worry about it."
Runza.
So he's going in there. He's describing it.
Anything else except a runza. The bread consistency, all of it really matters.
Okay.
Really can't.
So the whole thing's fake.
Yeah.
Fine, but that's what you're supposed to fucking do.
Yes. Because there's a lot of stupid people that exist who go, "Oh, he's a common guy," who think that that's real, and that's perfect. So you do that. There's really no loser in it, unless if you're a fucktard like idiot Vance for showing that pile of shit. Not only did he go in with just without prepping anybody, but that was recorded and then published. Yeah. That's like Stuttering John doing a show. It's all fucked up and going, "It looks good. Let's hit publish."
Just go ahead. Just put it out there. Yeah.
God damn.
Well, I had some other JD Vance stuff, but I think it's summed up really well in this video. I don't say this often, not as often as Eric does, but in this video, Nick Fuentes is making a lot of sense here. This is a compilation of from a stream, so you'll see some jump cuts, but he has some thoughts on JD Vance.
Vance sucks. He just needs to get the fuck away. I don't know if they could change and get somebody else. But if they can't, they just need to hide that guy in the basement of Mar-a-Lago because he is negative aura personified. Oh, yeah. Guy is negative charisma. He is an energy. Did you see that video of him in the donut shop the other day?
Yeah,
he goes in there. "Oh, hi. Oh, we're bringing the zoo to town. Sorry about that. Hey, guys, she doesn't want to be filmed. Hey, I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president." She goes, "Oh, okay. What you want?" "Okay, what you want, fat boy?" Get a lot of glaze, whatever makes sense. Whatever makes sense. You ever ordered from fucking Dunkin' Donuts before?
I mean, obviously he has.
Is this the guy that was, is he the Is he the racist guy?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he identifies as an anti-Semite, but he's also racist.
Okay, that's the guy that when he went to Mar-a-Lago, everybody gave Trump shit over it.
Yeah, this is that guy. This is the guy who said, JD Vance, I can't believe you married outside of your race. We played that on this show. Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. Yes. This guy is. So I agree with him here. Everybody agrees with him here. Why is this guy still a candidate? Trump should have fired him, and he should have done it publicly. He should have said, America, I am going to win, but I'm not going to have this fucking moron here. Fuck him. And people would have loved him for that.
Yeah. Well, look, Nick Fuentes points out that even a racist clock is right twice a day. All right. So he was able to figure it out. Douche of the Dabbleverse for featuring Nick Fuentes. I got more Nick Fuentes clips, just not for this week, but Skola. Thank you. We appreciate that. Oh, wait. Skola.
Is that apple cider?
It's iced tea, but looks okay. It's noon here. All right. I'm not hard drinking.
It's got to be sweet.
No, not for me. No.
I West Coast.
Well, you're not wrong. So we've got a couple of things from an event that Trump did in Arizona on Friday, and we'll talk about some of what went on that day. But prior to the main event, Carrie Lake spoke, and I'm not going to bore anybody with any Carrie Lake clips. So for people who don't know, she's like this huge defender, a cheerleader for Trump. She's very outspoken on free and fair elections because she's lost every election she's ever been in. No one wants to vote from her. You don't need to steal an election that Carrie Lake is in because everyone hates her, and possibly including Donald Trump, because again, this is not going to work for our audio audience. So you see her, and the prompter in front of her says, please get off stage. And then they change it a minute later. Please get off stage. Trump waiting. So it's like, all right, you clearly didn't understand the first time, dummy. This isn't for you. Okay. We're not interested in what you have to say. And I don't know. I mean, look, to me, that's a little humiliating. It's probably a badge of honor to her because she's just like, yeah, I got dragged off stage. To Wired Christian. Whoever snapped these pictures gets an Oscar. Yeah, there are those times when, somebody's giving a fiery speech in the Senate or the House, and the camera gradually pans and shows that no one's actually there. They're just, they just have some time. But as bad as that went for Carrie Lake, she had the red carpet rolled out for her by comparison to Arizona Police Association President Justin Harris, who's in the middle of speaking. Watch how many sheets of paper he has in front of him, and watch what former President Trump does here.
Flowing into our countries, and that's the only ones we know about.
Actually, I forgot about this part. Trump is looking over this guy's shoulder.
Okay.
He sees how much more this guy has left.
Flowing into our countries, and that's the only ones we know about. Okay. Illegal drugs are flowing into this country at an alarming rate, with only 5% being intercepted at the border. Okay.
You gotta go. He goes through 3 pages that he's skipping. He's like, I got it.
Folks, let me finish up here, please. This country.
He's like, I got my picture. But I mean, just the blatant.
You gotta go.
You gotta go. No one wants to see you. You're a loser. We're not interested. I love that clip so much. And because, look, here's the thing. Trump's right. People aren't there for him. They're not there for that guy.
I don't care.
They're not there for Carrie Lake. Usually he's probably not there at that point. So these people usually are promised more time. But you got to go. I love that. I mean, what?
Dave. Wait a minute. Dave wrote, God damn, this is like my stand-up.
Yeah, it's true. It is like they held up the light at the
You gotta go.
You gotta go, Dave, Sarah. You gotta go.
Poor guy. This poor son of a bitch. Can you imagine how humiliated this guy was when he got back? When he walked off the stage finally, he's like, oh shit.
Whose texts were worse? The lonely cat lady who got shown in the audience after Oprah said lonely cat lady, or this guy, you gotta go. And by the way, I don't care what that officer believes in, 0% chance he votes for Trump in November. He's like, fuck that guy. I'm going to write in somebody else, but there's no fucking way I'm voting for that guy.
What was the dynamic that Trump would, wait a minute, wasn't Trump supposed to, this was his moment to speak, right?
Yeah, I think that they gave him a little time, but I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, that was so ridiculous.
That was a little rough. So as we start to wind down here, we do have to have a moment to acknowledge a profound loss here at Who Are These Broadcasters? And of course, I'm talking about the loss of the presidential campaign of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We've had some fun with him over the past year. So let's breeze through some of the moments. Looking for his speech.
I need my speech. You can't read anything. You can't read anything. What?
You can hear his mic on backstage.
Yeah. It's upside down. It's upside down.
R.I.P. Human Kazoo. I think that was so long ago. I think Carl was still on with us every week when we had that one.
Dwyer says someone piped in the music. Oh yeah, no, it was there. It was actually part of it.
Yeah, it was all part of it. It was perfect. I think that's actually when I realized he was married to Cheryl Hines, was like before that. So that's how long ago that was. But we have a great collection. We have a lot of memories of RFK Jr. just being really honest, sometimes saying the quiet part out loud, and sometimes just saying the part that he shouldn't have said out loud.
I was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet 2 times. I was on it in 1993, and I was on it and I went to Florida. Harvey Weinstein. I knew Roger Ailes. I knew O.J. Simpson came to my house. Bill Cosby came to my house.
Yeah. It is a little bit of a greatest hits package here.
Yeah,
but,
it's like that. What was that Jim Carrey movie, Liar, Liar? It's just he can't help himself. He just gotta.
he just has to say that he can help himself, and I think that a big one for this show was the newly unearthed photo suggesting that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. ate a dog while traveling abroad. And if you remember this video, the New York Post went on to say that we texted this photo with an unidentified woman who, again, is so happy to be unidentified. But also, they show that the carcass has 13 pairs of ribs, including the telltale floating rib that suggested it is, in fact, a canine.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I've gone back and forth on that, but now after there's been a lot of things that have developed. To me, it was a dog. To me, he's probably going to eat dog tonight.
It was a simpler time when we first got this story. I was just thinking like, no, there's no way. And who can forget the 3.5 minute clip that we played in its entirety on this show? This is just a little snippet.
Woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear, and it was very good condition, and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag.
I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator because, I mean, honestly, that's some good eating.
This guy just.
A clip that we actually never played on this show is really relevant as of Friday.
With the phone right now, asked you to be his vice president, would you say yes?
No.
And why?
Well, first of all, I would be getting a divorce from my wife.
Yeah, that is really what he said, isn't it? I would be getting a divorce from my wife, and I think that I thought that was why what happened on Friday wasn't going to happen. That's like, no, she still likes to go to parties, but I don't know. He's been divorced 3 times already. So I guess, what's one more? So
I think I would rather have Biden in office than him.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think that's a take that there's a lot of people in our chat who would disagree, but this was kind of the defining moment where the outsider and the maverick fell immediately in line, and he became just like everybody else. Right. And if he endorsed Kamala Harris, it would sort of be a very similar feeling, but it was never viable that he was going to be president. He was basically polling well because he was like another alternative to 2 terrible candidates. And he was always a worse candidate, but he was like, but this is another guy. And also we all were like, well, he's not going to win, so I don't have to worry about that. This is a brand. Sorry. Sam Bibley, what was that?
Sam writes, RFK Jr. born into a different family would have wound up on the creep off.
By the way, still could end up on the creep off. There's time.
Yes.
And even at this event where he endorsed Trump, like, he can't help himself. He's just, I know that the word weird has gotten overused in 2024. He's a fucking weirdo.
America's puberty rate is now occurring at age 10 to 13, which is 6 years earlier than girls were reaching puberty in 1900.
Sorry, whose jet did you fly on a couple of times? How do you even know that?
Oh, wow. He's so weird. Everything about him is odd.
And that's really the most amazing thing, is that from Friday onward, there were so many articles, links, posts in my timeline that said things like, the election is over, a Kennedy endorses a Republican. And I'm like, all right, well, settle down. First of all, you're getting RFK Jr., not JFK Jr., which it's funny because that's what QAnon said was going to happen. That JFK Jr. was going to save all of us. So they were off by a letter. But you're literally getting the seal of approval of the worst Kennedy. Do you know how hard it is to be the worst Kennedy? To be worse than the guy who drove off a bridge with a girl and let her drown? You're worse than he is. It's like getting a thumbs up from Daniel Baldwin, the least famous of the Baldwin brothers. No, it's like Jane Baldwin. She's not even an actress. It's like Luke Hemsworth or Zeppo Marx or Curly Joe DeRita. Oh, it's like your favorite band, the drummer. The drummer's like, oh, yeah, I like you. Or maybe you're the backup catcher for your favorite team. Trump would have been better off if the brain worm inside of RFK Jr.'s head had endorsed him. If the dog he ate had endorsed Trump. If the bear whose carcass he dumped in Central Park had endorsed Trump, it would have been more helpful. If the whale whose head he removed from a beach and sorry, have we ever talked about the whale?
Not once. No.
Well, fortunately, I have.
In the decade-old interview, Kik Kennedy shared that when she was 6 years old, her father chopped the head of a whale that washed up on Squaw Island in Hyannisport. Kik said, every time we accelerated on the highway, whale juice would pour into the windows of the car, and it was the rankest thing on the planet.
Okay, so this quote from a Town and Country article with Kik Kennedy. Also, he named his daughter Kik. I mean, come on. They highlight an amazing part, but what they don't highlight is earlier in the same paragraph where it says that RFK Jr. ran down to the beach with a chainsaw, cut off the whale's head, and then bungee corded it to the roof of the family minivan for the 5-hour drive back to Mount Kisco, New York. So there was the part about it being there on the roof. That part was there, but I wanted to put it into the context because there's too much gold in a story like this, Eric.
of the car, and it was the rankest thing on the planet.
Yeah, I would bet.
We all had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out, and people on the highway were giving us the finger. But that was just normal day-to-day stuff for us. This too.
Yeah. It was normal, everyday stuff that we drive by and people give us the finger. So this happens, RFK Jr., and the big news is like, oh, more Democrats are coming out in favor of Trump. So you got RFK Jr. Who do you get next? Tulsi Gabbard. Who's next? Bill de Blasio, Bob Menendez, John Melendez. Is that the top tier Democrat you're going to get? Actually, if John Melendez had any sense of self-awareness, he'd endorse Trump just so that the Dabbleverse would have to not vote for him. I don't know. What do you think about all of this, Eric?
I like how Douche of the Dabbleverse says all this shit makes me like RFK more.
I love Douche of the Dabbleverse. I like that. That's the feeling that he took there, and no complaints from me. Not a one. But yeah, I just couldn't believe. I don't know. You probably follow some different people than I do, but the number of game over. I was like, all right. I mean, if Trump wasn't polling by 20% after he was attempted assassination, I don't know that RFK Jr. is what you're looking for, but what do I know? I don't know, but let us know in the chat. Please tell me why I'm wrong, because I'm sure that someone will. That was exhausting. We did the whole show. It was all politics.
I thought it was great.
I think I need. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Somebody was talking about how they like the show but don't like the topic. It's like, I fucking love the topic. Are you kidding me?
Well, it made sense. I couldn't really spread this out over a couple of weeks.
No, fuck that shit.
There's
gotta go
15
hard.
clips that I didn't show. All right. Maybe we'll see some of them, but I do need a little bit of a palate cleanser.
WATB, who are these bears? Who are these bears?
Now, unfortunately, I was unable to find video for this, but shout out to Shane. Yeah, I forget that they play again. Shout out to Shane who sent this to us. This was in Anchorage. So what you see here is a bear at the steering wheel of a Crumble cookie truck. And Crumble cookies are delicious. I don't know if they have them where everybody else lives.
They do. I know someone who owns one.
Yeah. Well, I hope that this is your friend here about to make some deliveries. And we of course, there's never a shortage of bear content here on the show, except for this week. And this will be our final clip of the day, and we'll say goodnight and goodbye. But this guy thinks he knows the best way to fight off a bear that shows up at a beach in Lake Tahoe.
Dude, that thing's huge.
Bear was caught rummaging through a cooler on a California beach.
Hey!
Try to scare it off. A beach goer threw a plastic chair towards the animal.
Okay.
Get.
It doesn't seem smart. Okay.
Come on. Dude, it took my cookie. Hey, give me my cookies.
Might be time to lose the cookie. Now he's hitting the table with a metal shovel. Bear looks scared.
Oh my goodness.
He quickly swiped at the bear, sending it scurrying into the woods.
Oh my goodness. Bro is fighting a bear.
And it's not like I stopped the clip before the bear tears the guy's head off. The bear legitimately runs away. I can't believe that that guy didn't get mauled by a bear. And anyway, well, that is our show for this week. Thank you for hanging in. I'm not going to promise no politics next week. The Duke of the Delusional says this WATB or an ad for Harris.
Shut up.
I mean, what was I going to do?
Yeah. Are you kidding? You
the only thing,
dummy.
How much did I jizz over Trump saying you got to go? I loved it. That's probably my favorite clip of the show. Oh yeah, that's our one from earlier. So Eric Zane, let everybody know where you can be found.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find my podcast, The Eric Zane Show Podcast, wherever you download shows, Monday through Friday, and on Twitch. That's the audio podcast, wherever you download shows. If you want it live as it happens, I'm on Twitch. Just search Eric Zane Live. Dwyer Christian was on there about 6-7 days ago, and he was fantastic. It was fantastic to see him in the chat. So there's not a ton of people that listen to or watch my show. I think it's pretty shitty, but I love it. I think it's fucking great, but everybody thinks it sucks. So
when I've checked it out, I've enjoyed it, but I need to go in knowing that you had a really annoying vacation with an RV that didn't cooperate. Then I know I'm going to be in for a treat. And you can find me on Instagram and X at Christian DMZ. My personal podcast is the Blackcast. We'll be back next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Go to whoarethese.com to find the phone number. Leave a voicemail. Say it's for WATB. And while you're there, become a member. You'll be able to watch WATP record live Wednesdays and Saturdays. You'll get at least 2 bonus episodes every month, including yesterday's tremendous Living in the Past, where Carl, producer Chris, and Jenny Jingles revisited the Stuttering John podcast from 2018. It's worth it to become a Cousin-Roo, even more worth it to be a bag slapper, but only a real man would be willing to identify as a rubber dick. That's it for now. As always, this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic, and now you know where to send it, kiddos. Oh, wait.